Welcome to this lesson on LeanFT. In this lesson, you will learn LeanFT engine settings, then object identification settings, and license types in LeanFT. So, if you have installed the LeanFT plugin for the IntelliJ or Eclipse, just open your IDE, and then on the top you will find this menu LeanFT. After that, click on this engine and object identification settings. This will open the engine object identification settings dialog, and as you can see there are two tabs, engine and object identification. So in this engine tab we have the add-ins, like depending upon what kind of application you want to automate, you can select these add-ins. So right now I have selected all the add-ins, but I will not recommend selecting all the add-ins because selecting all the add-ins will degrade the performance of LeanFT. So only check these check boxes which you want to automate. Like for example, you are just automating the web application, just tick this checkbox, or say if you are automating just Windows application or say Java application, just tick those check boxes and uncheck remaining ones. And this one is for the mobile testing of the mobile applications. So if you click on show settings, you will notice that we have got the server name, username and password, and if you are using behind the proxy, you can use the use proxy button, and this is required for testing the mobile applications through mobile center server. Here you have to give the mobile server address and username and password. So once you do that, you will be able to connect to the mobile center and then test the Android and iOS apps. And similarly, we have add-ins for other types of platforms like WPF, WinForms, etc. And here we have got the settings for the engine, like on which port the LeanFT engine should run. So this is the 5095, this is the default port, but you can definitely change it. And this is the engine idle timeout in minutes to 40 minutes. It means that if you do not send any commands to the LeanFT engine during this time or within this time to 40 minutes, LeanFT engine will shut down automatically. So these are the settings related to the engine. Then this is the runtime setting, object synchronization timeout. This is timeout that LeanFT uses to identify the objects. If LeanFT doesn't identify or find the objects within these 20 seconds, it will throw the exception saying that object is not found. And this setting is regarding running the tests on the disconnected RDP computer. So when there is no active session on the Windows, this LeanFT will not be able to recognize the or drive the automation. So you need to provide the username and password, which can be used to maintain one session on the machine on which you are running the LeanFT tests. This is all about the engine runtime settings, and let us move on to the object identification settings now. So in the object identification, we have got the technology drop down. Over here you can select the various technologies like web, mobile, WPF, WinForm, and as you select this technology, on the bottom here you will see the standard objects defined in the LeanFT SDK. So LeanFT will be able to identify only these objects. If there is a custom or the third-party control, LeanFT will not be able to identify that object, and it will consider that as a normal object. So you can use native object concept to drive the automation in such scenarios. But if the object is a standard object, you can just drive the automation very easily. And for each object, LeanFT has specified the properties that it should use to identify that object. For example, for button, to identify the button, LeanFT is gonna use object name, and it will also use this full type and full name path, these properties, and these are the available properties, but this will not be used to identify the object. But if you want LeanFT to identify the object, this button object, using one of these properties, you can drag and drop this property over here, so that will be used in identification of the object. So similarly, for each technology, we have got the objects defined by the LeanFT, and also the which properties LeanFT uses to identify those objects. So there are mandatory properties and assistive properties. So these three are mandatory properties and these two are assistive properties. So these mandatory properties are used initially, and if LeanFT is not able to identify the object uniquely even if after using these properties and their values, then it will use these assistive properties. And you can also add or remove these properties by just dragging and dropping it like that. So here you can like restore the test object settings. Like if you change some properties of the objects, then you can restore it, and here you can add a new property as well. So this is regarding again restore settings for the web test object. This is for restoring the entire for all the objects inside this web technology. Like if you make changes in some of the objects, and then if you want to restore or reset the settings, then you can do that using this particular command. And you can import the object identification by clicking on this button, and you can export the object identification using this button. So it exports it in the form of JSON file. And you can also filter the objects, like say you want to see only the button objects, you can filter it like that. So this is all about object identification settings and LeanFT engine settings. I hope you have understood all the settings in here, which will be very useful when you will be automating some of the applications using LeanFT. Thanks for watching this video. And one more point is left, that is license types. So if you go to the start and then go to all apps in your Windows system, you will find one HP directory over here, and you can click on this functional testing license wizard, which displays the license type that you are using for the LeanFT. So as you can see, I'm using the SIT license, and it installs a personal license for this machine. It is active license and it is valid until 18th of August. And similarly, we have a concurrent licenses, installs a session-based license from the license server. So license sits on the server machine, and then multiple machines can use that particular license. So these are various types of license, and there are like commuter licenses and remote commuter license as well. So that's all about LeanFT settings and licenses.
Hi friends, if you find this video useful, please hit like button, and for more videos please subscribe to my channel, and also visit www.softforce.org for more tutorials and updated videos. Thanks for watching my video.